CGMTV NFL MVP episode. Let's get into it. We midway into the NFL season, and I feel like, there's been a lot of ups and downs. There's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of predictions, and 9 games into the season, it's fair to just say, there's a few front runners for the MVP, and then you have the rest. So we're just going to get right into them. Number 5, I do believe, will be Todd Gurley, who overthrows Kareem Hunt, who was actually number 1 in my picks about 2 weeks ago. But over the past 2 weeks, Andy Reid has went away from his running game, has went full throttle into the passing game, and it's actually resulted in 2 losses, which Andy Reid needs to go ahead and reevaluate and get back onto the Kareem Hunt running trail. I think that he can make a run for it, but I don't think that he would actually achieve being able to be the MVP, given the fact that, he had a couple of games where he didn't have big games then. And to add on to that, he has those last 2 games where Andy Reid really hasn't engaged in the run game, which has completely knocked him out of the picture. Todd Gurley, number 5, in my opinion, because of the way that he's helping the maturation of Jared Goff come into process. Number 4, Jared Goff is having a monster year. Like I said, due in part to the number 5 candidate, Todd Gurley III, being the number 5 option. I think that those 2 are actually playing really well with each other, and I think that their record shows that they should have some consideration at the 4 and 5 slot. I just think that it's pretty much a landslide when you think about a quarterback and a running back playing equally as well with each other. Like, I think about the top running backs, and they usually don't have a top quarterback, and I think about the top quarterbacks, and they usually don't have a top running back. Drew Brees is probably the closest thing next to it, who is my number 3 pick, but Drew Brees will probably be, the closest thing to it, with Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara. Or is that his name? I believe that's his name. Alvin Kamara. But that's like the closest thing to a running back, a great running back / quarterback tandem that could rival Jared Goff and Todd Gurley. But number 3, as I just gave it away, Drew Brees. He's having another magnificent year. It's easy to just go ahead and just say he's that dude. He's ready. If the Chiefs hadn't lost these past couple games, then I would have had Alex Smith up there. But with the way that they've been performing, and the fact that Alex Smith hasn't been able to get them out of the situations that they've been in, he actually fell out of the top 5 as well. I give it to Drew Brees. He has the Saints rolling. It's not always about touchdowns and about stats. It's also about how you put your team in position to win. And Drew Brees has done that over the past 7 games. I think they're 7-2 now. They lost the first 2, and then they've won the past 7 games. Remarkable salute to Drew Brees, doing your thing, even with you getting older and people doubting your skills. I never doubted him. I've been watching you since the Charger days. Number 2, Carson Wentz. having an amazing year, the best team in football. But that's the reason why he's number 2 is because he has the best team in football. He has a great defense behind him. Well, I wouldn't say great, but he has a very, very good defense behind him. You know, he has all his wide receivers clicking at the right time. Everything you could say is predicated on his well playing, but I do also factor in the fact that his team is playing at a little bit higher rating, or a little bit higher rate than the number 1 guy, who, of course, he could be in it every single year. He could be in this conversation every single year. But the number 1 guy, Tom Brady. It's that simple. Love it or hate it, I really don't care. Tom Brady is that top dude. Once again, he's at the age of 40. People said that he couldn't do it. People said that he couldn't play as great as he did last year. That time was going to catch up. I'm not going to say any names. But Max Kellerman, you know, you may want to rethink your position on players after the age of 40. Blah, say blah, but we're not going to go there. Here nor there, it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. Tom Brady is number 1. He doesn't have a great defense. Really, there's a lot of questionable offensive players as well, other than Gronk and James White. Nobody else has really stood out in the Patriots offense. Julian Edelman isn't really having the year that he usually has. Amendola isn't really having the year that he normally has. Chris Hogan, I mean, he's Chris Hogan. They don't have a spectacular offense, but for some kind of reason, they still put numbers up on the board. They don't have a great defense, but somehow their defense is able to be good enough for them to win. So at the end of the day, you got to look at it and say, what is the one piece that they have which makes that whole engine go? And that's Tom Brady. He's having a magnificent year. No disrespect to Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz has to prove throughout the second half that he can sustain the same type of productivity that he did in the first half. I'll be looking forward to it. And you know, at the end of the year, it may be different. It may not be different. It may be the same. We're going to see how that goes. We got 7 more entertaining weeks of NFL football, so be ready, be alert. Let's get it, baby. 1, 2, 3, 6 Empire. We out.